Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 12th of our Big Bastard Quizzes. So tonight's guest round is going to be Stephen King adaptations. That's Stephen King books made into films. They're going to be your questions tonight for your guest round, and that was chosen by one of the lovely followers. Raise your hand, give us a wave if it was you. I can't remember who did it, but yes, not a bad round suggestion, I might add. So how are we all doing? Do put your comments in the stream comments box, so I know you're here. Give us a say hello, introduce yourselves, etc. So rules, of course, there are no rules. Rule number 2, of course, there's rules. Don't cheat. You're only cheating yourselves. This is for a bit of fun, of course. You're only cheating yourselves. Obviously, don't use your phones and don't put the answers in the comments of the stream either, because it just ruins the fun for everyone. I'm echoing, am I? Okay, right. Let's see if I can sort this out. I had a bit of a paddy today. How's that? Is that better? Hello. Is that better? Yes, no, I don't know. Right, so each team has a Joker card which they may play for 1 round and 1 round only. If you choose to play your Joker card, you'll receive double points for every correct answer you put down in that round. You may not use this on your picture round because you don't have one. I'll tell you when to play that as the quiz goes on if you haven't played before. Now, throughout the quiz, we shall be doing our little drinking things. Today, I'm drinking a lovely pale ale from the Garden Brewery. Very nice indeed. Let's crack this open and see how it is. So you will see a little thing pop up on screen. There we go. Can't even open the thing. There we go. Cheers, guys. Dun, 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 dun. So, get your pens at the ready, get your drinks at the ready, and get your quiz sheets at the ready, as we're going to start with round one. And round one is, of course, food and drink. So eyes down, pens at the ready. Food and drink number one. What is the other name for a ground nut or a peanut? What is the name for another name for ground nut or peanut? We have a singular live studio audience member with us tonight. Say hello.
Hello.
There we go. There are some quiz sheets in the bag there if you want to use one of those. What is the other name for a ground nut or a peanut? Number two. Which brand of beer does Homer Simpson drink regularly? Which brand of beer does Homer Simpson drink regularly? I think, oh dear. I think we can do another one of these as we're talking about beer. Number three. Greek feta cheese is made from the milk of which animal? Greek feta cheese is made from the milk of which animal? Oh, it's a bit tangy. Quite hoppy. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Number four, apart from in a container, i.e. a bowl, how is gazpacho served? How would you serve gazpacho soup? Obviously in a bowl or some other container. But how would you serve gazpacho soup? Number five. Number five was actually news to me today. Number five. Mind your P's and Q's was a phrase meant to watch how much you had to drink. But what did the letters P and Q stand for? Mind your P's and Q's was a phrase meant to watch how much you had to drink. But what did the letters P and Q stand for? Every day's a school day in this game. Oh, there's fighting words from Paula Didwell. Adam and Katie, apparently you're going down. Oh dear. Number six. What is albumin the correct term for? What is albumin the correct term for? I asked that question on Sunday and someone shouted out, West Bromwich. It's quite funny. You had to be there. Number seven. What drink is a mixture of brandy, egg yolks, and vanilla? What drink is a mixture of brandy, egg yolks, and vanilla? Adam, are you going to be seriously having a fight with a woman? It's quite cowardly of you. Unless she's a UFC fighter, of course, then you're going down, mate. Bang. Number eight. What is water of life in Latin? What is water of life in Latin? Water, water of life. Jesus gave us the water of life. I used to sing that at school. What is water of life in Latin? Number nine. What are the ingredients in the most famous trick pie in English literature? What are the ingredients in the most famous trick pie or joke pie in the whole of English literature? And lastly, number 10, where does spaghetti bolognese specifically come from? From where specifically does spaghetti bolognese come from? Don't want the country, I want the place, the region, town, city, whatever it is. Okay, so I shall go through the repeats right now. Remember, just listen out for the number or numbers of the questions you want if you need any repeats. So, number 1, what is the other name for a groundnut or a peanut? Number 2, which brand of beer does Homer Simpson drink regularly? Number 3, Greek feta cheese is made from the milk of which animal? Number 4, how would you serve gazpacho soup? Number 5, mind your P's and Q's was a phrase meant to watch how much you had to drink, but what do the letters P and Q stand for? Number 6, what is albumin the correct term for? Number 7, what drink is a mixture of brandy, egg yolks, and vanilla? Number 8, what is water of life in Latin? Number 9, what are the ingredients in the most famous trick pie in English literature? And lastly, number 10, from where does spaghetti bolognese come from? Okay, so we're going to move on to round 2, and round 2 is the guest round. Guest round tonight is Stephen King adaptations. But before we go on to that, I think we're going to give you one of these. So, round 2, Stephen King adaptations. Eyes down, pens at ready. Number 1. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright, is a quote from which film? I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright, is a quote from which film? Remember, all of these are adaptations of Stephen King novella. Number 2. Which movie starred Arnold Schwarzenegger as a contestant in a sadistic game show? Which movie starred Arnie as a contestant in a sadistic game show? Number 3. Kathy Bates starred in which book-to-movie adaptation? Kathy Bates starred in which book-to-movie adaptation? Number 4. Richard Dreyfuss was the narrator of which coming-of-age film? Richard Dreyfuss was the narrator of which coming-of-age film? Number 5. Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård have both played which haunting character? Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård have both played which haunting character? Character name, not film name. Number 6. Sissy Spacek's rendition of which character was far superior than Chloe Grace Moretz? Sissy Spacek's rendition of which character was a far superior than Chloe Grace Moretz's rendition? In my opinion, of course. Far greater performance. I believe it was her first ever acting role as well. Number 7. Which adaptation did King find the most disappointing, but not including any recent remakes? Which adaptation, book to film adaptation, did Stephen King find the most disappointing, not including any new remakes of any older originally shot films? Do you like my haircut, by the way? I had it all cut off the other day. Much more better. It's getting a bit shaggy on top before. Number 8. Who plays Dan Torrance, grown-up Dan Torrance, in Doctor Sleep? Which actor plays Dan Torrance in Doctor Sleep? Number 9. Tom Hanks plays the lead, Paul Edgecombe, in which Stephen King book to film? Tom Hanks plays the lead character of Paul Edgecombe in which Stephen King book to film adaptation? And lastly, number 10. Stephen King plays the minister in which late 80s horror? Stephen King plays the minister in which late 80s horror? So, repeat sound, guys. Listen out for the number or numbers of the questions you need repeating carefully. Number 1. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright, is a quote from which film? Number 2. Which movie starred Arnie as a contestant in a sadistic game show? Number 3. Kathy Bates starred in which book-to-movie adaptation? Number 4. Richard Dreyfuss was the narrator of which coming-of-age film? Number 5. Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård have both played which haunting character? Number 6. Sissy Spacek's rendition of which character was far superior than Chloe Grace Moretz? Number 7. Which adaptation did Stephen King find the most disappointing, not including any remakes? Number 8. Who plays Dan Torrance in Doctor Sleep? Number 9. Tom Hanks plays the lead Paul Edgecombe in which Stephen King book to film? And lastly, number 10. Stephen King plays the minister in which late 80s horror? Okay. So we're now on to round 3. And round 3 is entertainment. Don't worry, this is the last round before we do the lovely marking. And you can go on a lovely break to refill your bevies, etc. So, eyes down, pens at ready, my freaky darlings. Entertainment number 1. Lara Antipova is the central character in which famous novel and movie? Lara Antipova is the central character in which famous novel and movie? My grandfather used to have a music box, a wind-up music box that played the tune to that film. In his study on the bookshelf, if I remember rightly. Number 2. Which character played by Anthony Daniels appeared in all 9 of the Star Wars films? Which character played by Anthony Daniels appeared in all 9 of the Star Wars films? Certainly the first 6 he was in. Maybe he wasn't in the last 3, the Disney ones. Pretty sure it was him. Yeah, definitely in the first 6. Maybe in the last 3. Pretty sure. Number 3. In the US hit TV show Friends, which one of the main characters dated multi-millionaire Pete Becker, played by Jon Favreau? In Friends, which one of the characters dated multi-millionaire Pete Becker, played by the actor Jon Favreau? Number 4. This one's for our studio audience member in particular. In which Disney film do we see the character Thomas O'Malley? In which Disney film do we see the character of Thomas O'Malley? Thomas O'Malley. Same voice actor did Thomas O'Malley as did Baloo in The Jungle Book. And Little John in Robin Hood. Number 5. Who were the master and servant sketch duo from The Fast Show? Who were the master and servant sketch duo from The Fast Show? Well, the characters' names, of course, are both played by Paul Whitehouse and Charlie Higson. Absolutely one of my favourite sketches from The Fast Show. Fast Show wouldn't work these days, though, would it? It's a shame. Very 90s thing. Big Train and Smack the Pony. All brilliant. Number 6. Which relative of John Travolta's made a cameo appearance in Saturday Night Fever? Which relative of John Travolta's made a cameo appearance in Saturday Night Fever? When I say relative, I just want the relation, how they're related to John Travolta, not their name. God, there's an echo on the comments list as well. Dave, you're echoing. You've got an echo. Got a major echo. Echo, echo. Got a major echo. Echo, echo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Echo. Number 7. According to a classic kids TV show, who would you expect to find in the 10-acre field? Oh. According to a classic kids TV show, who would you expect to find in the 10-acre field? Number 8. In The Simpsons, what extra month did the school accidentally print onto all of its calendars? What extra month did the school in The Simpsons accidentally print onto its calendars? It's not a real month. Sam from Turtle Bay would know that one. He has it as his Instagram handle. Number 9. Which actress plays Virginia Woolf in the movie The Hours? Which actress plays Virginia Woolf in the movie The Hours? Sporting a rather fetching prosthetic nose. And lastly, number 10. Who played Yosser Hughes in the TV show The Boys from the Black Stuff? Who played Yosser Hughes in the TV show The Boys from the Black Stuff? Gives a job. Go on, mate. I could do that. Gives a job. Gives a job. Talking of jobs, if anyone's got a job for little old me, do let me know ASAP. I do need a job. Give me a job. One of you, give me a job right now. Okay, right, so we'll do some repeats. So listen out once again for the number or numbers of the questions you need. Number 1. Lara Antipova is the central character in which famous novel or movie? Number 2. Which character played by Anthony Daniels appeared in certainly the first 6 Star Wars films? Number 3. In the TV show Friends, which one of the characters dated multi-millionaire Pete Becker, played by the actor Jon Favreau? Number 4. In which Disney film do we see Thomas O'Malley? Number 5. Who were the master and servant sketch duo from The Far Show? Number 6. Which relative of John Travolta's made a cameo appearance in Saturday Night Fever? Number 7. According to a classic kids TV show, who would you expect to find in the 10-acre field? Number 8. In The Simpsons, what extra month did the school accidentally print onto its calendars? Number 9. Which actress plays Virginia Woolf in the movie The Hours? And lastly, number 10. Who played Yosser Gizajob Hughes in the TV show The Boys from the Black Stuff? Sam F. That's not Sam Foster, surely. Can't be Samuel Foster. Okay, guys, so if you think you played particularly well in one of the first 3 rounds and wish to play your Joker card on one of those rounds, you may do so. Just put a little J next to the one you want to do. You will get double points for every correct answer you put down in that round. Now, if you are at home and you're swapping, if you've got more than one person in your house with you, do swap your sheets over. It is a bit of fun, but yeah, just swap them over. You don't have to, of course. I'm not going to know. If you plan on your own, obviously you can mark your own. That's fine. So we're going to go through the answers now, starting with round 1. Food and drink. Number 1. What is the other name for a ground nut or a peanut? That is a monkey nut. Number 2. Which brand of beer does Homer Simpson drink regularly? It's Duff beer. Number 3. Greek feta cheese is made from the milk of the ewe, or sheep, I'll accept. Number 4. How would you serve gazpacho soup? You'd serve it cold. Ice cold. Number 5. Mind your P's and Q's was a phrase meant to watch how much you had to drink. But what did the letters P and Q stand for? So half a point for each here. P stood for pints and Q stood for quarts, as in quarters. P's and Q's. I always thought it was pleases and thank yous, but because it's done out of like sort of politeness. But every day's a school day. It's apparently about watching your booze intake. Number 6. What is albumin the correct term for? That is egg white. Number 7. What drink is a mixture of brandy, middle of egg, and vanilla? It's Advocaat. Number 8. What is water of life in Latin? Aqua vitae. Half a point for aqua, half a point for vitae. Number 9. What are the ingredients in the most famous trick pie in English literature? There's 4 and 20 blackbirds. 24 blackbirds, 24. 4 and 20 was the old English way of saying 24. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? And lastly, number 10. From where does spaghetti bolognese come from? Is Bologna. Bologna in Italy. Or as the Americans call it, bologna. Bologna, that horrible processed meat. Is it processed? I don't know. Yeah, it's spelt Bologna. Bologna. They pronounce it bologna because they're fucking idiots. On to guest round 2, Stephen King adaptations. Number 1, I have to remind myself that some birds are meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright is a quote from which film? That's The Shawshank Redemption. Andy was a good man. Number 2, which movie starred Arnie as a contestant in a sadistic game show? That was The Running Man. The Running Man. If anyone contests that, actually, that was Richard Bachman. Well, actually, Richard Bachman was Stephen King's pseudonym, his alias, if you like. He used to write under the guise of Richard Bachman quite often. Number 3, Kathy Bates starred in Misery. Number 4, Richard Dreyfuss was the narrator of Stand By Me, starring Kiefer Sutherland, amongst some other well-known child actors. Number 5, Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård have both played the haunting character of Pennywise the Clown from the film It. I shan't be giving any points for It because It is not the name of the character. The character is Pennywise. Saying, take that, internet land people. My lovely quizzes. I do love you, really. Number 6, Sissy Spacek's rendition of Carrie was much better than the remake of Chloe Grace Moretz. I haven't seen the second one. The remake, probably pretty rubbish, as most remakes are these days. Number 7, which adaptation did Stephen King find the most disappointing, not including any of the reboots or remakes? That was The Shining. He didn't like it at all. And Stanley Kubrick was apparently rather horrible about his writing. He called him quite thin, I think, like thin writer. Didn't have much depth to his writing, apparently. Where are we? Number 8. Who plays Dan Torrance in Doctor Sleep? The sequel, to The Shining. That's Ewan McGregor. Number 9. Tom Hanks plays the lead Paul Edgecombe in which Stephen King book? The film The Green Mile. Brilliant film. Watched it the other day. So good. I always cry at the end. It was amazing. And lastly, number 10. Stephen King plays the minister in Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary. On to round 3, number 1. Lara Antipova is the central character in Dr. Zhivago. Bow, bow, ba-dow, ba-da-da-da, ba-dow. Number 2, which character played by Anthony Daniels appeared in all 6 or maybe 9 of the Star Wars films? C-3PO, the big gold dude. Number 3. In Friends, which one of the characters dated multimillionaire Pete Becker? It was Monica Geller. Number 4. In which Disney film do we see Thomas O'Malley? That is, of course, the Aristocats. Everybody wants to be a cat. Number 5. Who were the master and servant sketch duo from The Fast Show? That was Ted and Ralph. Ted being the solemn, quiet gardener, and Ralph being the posh sod who lived in the manor. Oh. Number 6, which relative of John Travolta made a cameo appearance in Saturday Night Fever? It was his mother. Number 7, according to a classic kids TV show, who would you expect to find in the 10-acre field? That would be, of course, Wurzel Gummidge. Wurzel Gummidge, along with his pal Aunt Sally. And he was played by John Pertwee. One of the, I think he was the second Doctor from Doctor Who. Number 8. What extra month did the school accidentally print on all of its calendars in The Simpsons? It was Smarch. S-M-A-R-C-H. Smarch. Lousy Smarch. Number 9. Which actress plays Virginia Woolf in the movie The Hours? That was Nicole Kidman. And lastly, number 10. Who played Yossi Hughes in the TV show The Boys from the Black Stuff? That was old King Theoden himself, Bernard Hill. Oh, so guys, the time is just gone 25 to 9. I'll give you till 10 to 9. I'll give you a few more minutes this week. 10 to 9 to go and refill your drinks if you've got them on the go. Go and use your lavatories if you have them in your houses. Obviously, you should all do, unless you're from a caravan. You have to use the or a tent. You might have to use the communal one. And go and have a cigarette if you are a dirty smoker. And I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Do put your scores in the comments whether you've used your joker yet or not. I'd love to know. And also, are you guys enjoying yourselves so far? I hope you are. We'll be back very shortly after these messages. Hello, my darlings. I hope you had a lovely break and you got all your booze and your bladders and your cigarettes all taken care of. So let's have a look at some of the scores so far. So Lama's got 22 without the Joker. Not bad so far. He's still got lots to play for. 29.5 for Dom with the Joker. Not bad, not bad. Very well done. Is that... Yeah, Nick, 32.5 with the Joker. If we get, you get a half a Ted, that's fine. 10 and Ralph, half a point for each. Similarly with, if you put eggnog instead of Advocar, I'll let you have it, but eggnog is technically mixed with cream as a like a cocktail punch, creamy cocktail punch. So yeah, you mix Advocar with full fat cream, I think, and you have a Christmas drink. Let's say Kenneth Bird, Ken and Jan, 18.5, no Joker. Very well done so far. Still lots to play for. Yes, Hannah, you can have eggnog. I'll let you have that. But just remember for future, any other quizzes you play, which I hope there aren't any, not of mine, I mean, the eggnog is not technically Advocar and vice versa. Yeah. Nick, 35.5. Sorry, 33.5 if eggnog is allowed. Yes, it's allowed. Well done. Have you played the Joker? I'm assuming you have. You must have done because you can't get over 30. If you hadn't. Esme Brown, 27.5 with Joker. Very good, very good. Never mind the Bologna, or Bologna, if you're American. 29, including Joker on food and drink. We love that round. Well, cheers, Zoe. Deborah CS, 24, and Joker played. Very well done. Richard, 34 from Gone with the Wind. I take it you've played your joke card as well. Very well done. And Bob, you've got 33 with a Joker. Can't agree with Stephen King about The Shining, though. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I watch The Shining, I fall asleep within the first half an hour, and I haven't read the book, so I couldn't possibly comment. I mean, I've heard it's a great film. It's a Kubrick film, so it's got to be great. But I think because Kubrick was just a bit of a knobhead towards Stephen King, he obviously just retaliated and said he didn't like the film. So we'll see, we'll see. So before we go back into it, I think have a wee bevy. Actually, I'm going to swap that out for a lovely Redwell passion fruit IPA. Got one of them on the go. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, it's much more better, even though it has been open all night in the fridge. Right, so we'll be starting the second half of tonight's quiz with Science and Nature, round 4, Science and Nature. So eyes down, pens eagerly hovering above your quiz sheets in anticipation. Science and Nature number 1. True or false, oysters raise libido and sex drive? True or false, oysters raise libido and sex drive? Who likes oysters here? raise your hand or put a thumbs up. I have to say that the Thorn and Oyster Co. do the best oysters, and only oysters actually I've ever had. They often pop down to a place of work, or they certainly did, and used to give me a couple of freebies with some of their like lovely lemon juice and vinegar and chopped onions. Very nice indeed. Down the hatch. Number 2. What is the commonest metal on Earth? What is the most common metal on Earth? Number 3. Who is considered as the originator of the concept of a computer? Who is considered as the originator of the concept of a computer? Number 4. What do you call a person who studies earthquakes? What do you call a person who studies earthquakes? Number 5. What do invertebrates lack? What do invertebrates lack? Number 6. What do the lymph glands produce? What do the lymph glands produce? Number 7. What is the alloy pewter made from? What is the alloy pewter made from? Number 8. Which is the only muscle not attached at both ends? What is the only muscle that is not attached at both ends? And no, love muscle is not a real muscle. Any rude answers will be stricken from the record. But I think the studio audience member is correct. Number 9. Any twitchers out there? Ken, I think you might know this one. Number 9. Which lays blue eggs? Is it the song thrush or the missile thrush? Out of the following two, which lays blue eggs? Is it the song thrush or the missile thrush? And lastly, number 10. The name of which flat fish also means to stumble clumsily? The name of which flat fish also means to stumble clumsily? I want to be where the people are. Okay, so some repeats real quick. Number 1, true or false, oysters raise libido and sex drive. Number 2, what is the most common metal on Earth? Number 3, who is considered as the originator of the concept of a computer? Number 4, what do you call a person who studies earthquakes? Number 5, what do invertebrates lack? Number 6, what do lymph glands produce? Number 7, what is the alloy pewter made from? Number 8, which is the only muscle not attached at both ends? Number 9, which of the following two lays blue eggs? Is it the song thrush or the missile thrush? And lastly, number 10, the name of which flatfish also means to stumble clumsily? Okay. So we're going to move on to round 5, and round 5 is the music intros round. So if you haven't played the music intros round before, it goes a little something like this. I have a playlist of 10 tracks. I'll go through the playlist once with pauses in between each so you have time to think and write down. I'll then go through the playlist a second time, this time with no pauses, this time just to give you a recap, a repeat of any you may have missed. I would like, please, the name of the song and the artist. That's the name of the song and the artist. You will receive half a point for the song name, half a point for the artist name. Obviously, if you're playing a Joker card, you will get double points. So eyes down, pens at the ready, ears open. Music intros, number 1. He says, oh, you bugger. Let's start that again. Oh, technology, eh? Technology. Here we go. Name of the song and artist, please. Number 2.
I'm just mad about saffron. Saffron's mad about me. I'm just mad about saffron.
Number 3. That song inspired me to play bass. Ding 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 ding. Number 4. From the Green Mile.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
Heaven, I'm in heaven. Looks a bit like Tom Hiddleston. Number 5. Number 6.
Stop making the eyes at me, I'll stop making my eyes at you.
What it is that surprises me is that I don't really want you to. Shoulders are frozen. You're an explosion. You're dynamite! Number 7.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone.
Number 8.
Move like cagey tigers.
Number 9.
Nothing here to say, just to kill out loud, try to cuss and see.
Brilliant band. Amazing band. The Queen's Red stuff. And that's number 10. Dodge boy, living on Angel Boy. What the words are. Oh, what a tune. Early 90s, early mid 90s. Oh. Didn't do many songs that band, but the ones I did do, especially that one, was beautiful. Take me back to the 90s. Right, guys, so I'm going to go through the playlist once more, this time with no pauses. This time, just to give you a recap. A repeat of any you may miss, and listen very carefully. Remember, I need the name of the song and the artist. So eyes down, pens at ready, ears open. Yet again, music intro number 1. 2.
I'm just mad about saffron. Saffron's mad about me. I'm
3.
We get some rules to follow. That and this, these and those.
4.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
5.
I sold my soul for the second time. Cause the man don't pay me.
6.
Stop making the eyes at me, I'll stop making the eyes with you. What it is that surprises me is that I don't really want you to. And your shoulders are frozen, but you're an explosion. Yeah.
7. Close my eyes.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone.
8.
Move like caged tigers.
9.
Nothing here to say, just a kill out loud, trying to cuss and see.
10. Close my eyes. Only for a moment, and the moment's gone. Oh, what an amazing song. Right, so that was music intros, which was round 5, which means we're now on to round 6, which unfortunately is our final round this evening, my darlings. But fear not, we still have 10 questions left for you to bring it back, and they're all on general knowledge. So eyes down, pens at the ready for the final time this evening. General knowledge, number 1. What does a funambulist walk on? What does a funambulist walk on? That's Funambulist. Foxtrot, Umbrella, November, Alpha, Mike, Bravo, Umbrella, Lima, Indigo, Sierra, Tango. No one ever learns the phonetic alphabet. They just know it, don't they? I don't know if it was because I used to watch The Bill when I was younger or something, but I don't know how I never sat down and learnt the phonetic alphabet. I just know it. Really weird. I don't know why. Number 2. Which animal is the national symbol of South Africa? Which animal is the national symbol of South Africa? Oh. You saw right. Number 3, EE. What credit card was known as your flexible friend? What credit card was known as your flexible friend? Remember the 90s adverts. Number 4, Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America, is part of which country? Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America, is part of which country? This Cockney accent is no clue, by the way. Just south sounds better than a south. South London, don't go south of the river. South End. Good name for a band, South End. If anyone has a surname, Fend, please call your child S-A-H. South End. Especially if that child was conceived in South End. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's number 5. In what year did Ernie draw the first premium bond numbers in Britain? In what year did Ernie, the drawing machine, draw the first premium bond numbers in Britain? So, you know, as with the National Lottery, they had Camelot and Lancelot and all that, different machines that drew the balls. Well, Ernie was the name of the premium bond draw machine. But what year did he first draw the first numbers? Also, has anyone out there got premium bonds? I'm asking you, the audience, does anyone have any? If so, what's the most you've ever won on a monthly draw? I think I've won about 25 quid a couple of times in the last 33 years. Well worth it. Number 6. What daily newspaper was first published in 1855? What daily newspaper was first published in 1855? Might have to make the page of my questions on the computer darker, because it just illuminates. This is what it's meant to look like, which is quite dark, I suppose, maybe. But now to read the questions, how to put that in your face. There we go. Number 7. Which company's logo is officially known as the swoosh? Which company's logo is officially known as the swoosh or swoosh? Meow, comes swooshing in. Meow. It's not a clue. It's just I've got Malcolm here, and he's a very dusty boy. I found him down the park, you know. You know, the ducks down the park are free. I've got about 75 currently going. This one died of natural causes, unfortunately. And we taxidermed him ourselves. Number 8. Who was the youngest member of the Beatles? Who was the youngest member of the Beatles? Nick, if you're watching, I need some more of this. Thank you. I mean, of course you're watching. I know you're watching. Not that one. Number 9. In the phonetic alphabet. Funny we were talking about that. In the phonetic alphabet, which 2 cities are used for letters? In the phonetic alphabet, which 2 cities are used for letters? And lastly, number 10. In politics, who resigned as chairman of the Conservative Party in 1983 after a scandal came to light? Who resigned as chairman of the Conservative Party in 1983 after a scandal came to light? I wonder if they were removing free parking for nurses back then as well. And also not passing the new thing that lets... Or not paying students who have been working for 3 months. Or, not passed. They didn't pass. There's so many votes against the new, not legislation thing, I can't remember what it's called, about not letting outside countries and companies interfere with our NHS. But that's going to happen now. We're all going to die. Poor. Yeah. That's how it's meant to be. Right, so I'm going to go through the general knowledge questions once more, so listen out for your number. Number 1, what does a funambulist walk on? Number 2, which animal is the national symbol of South Africa? Number 3, what credit card was known as your flexible friend? Number 4, Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America, is part of which country? Number 5, in what year did Ernie draw the first premium bond numbers in Britain? Number 6, what daily newspaper was first published in 1855? Number 7, which company's logo is officially known as the swoosh? Number 8, who was the youngest member of the Beatles? Number 9, in the phonetic alphabet, which 2 cities are used for letters? And lastly, number 10, who resigned as chairman of the Conservative Party in 1983 after a scandal came to light? Okay, fill in those last answers there from the last 3 rounds. If you haven't yet used your Joker card in the first half of tonight's quiz and wish to play it on either science and nature, music intros, or general knowledge, you can do now by putting a letter J in the box next to the round title. That is if you printed out one of the Danger Dave quiz sheets, of course. If you haven't, just put a J near or make it known that it's for that round. I'll give you a few more moments. Okay, so starting with science and nature, number 1. True or false, oysters raise libido and sex drive? That is false. That's an urban myth. It's absolute rubbish. Of course they don't. Number 2. What is the most common metal on Earth? It is aluminium. Most people say iron, but technically it's iron ore is in the crust. Iron ore is different, I think, something like that. Number 3, who is considered as the originator of the computer? That is Sir Charles Babbage. You don't need the Sir in there, but Charles Babbage is enough. Half a point for each name, of course. Number 4, what do you call a person who studies earthquakes? Is a seismologist. Number 5, what do invertebrates lack? They lack a backbone, a spine, a bony spine. Number 6, what do the lymph glands produce? That is white blood cells. Number 7, what is the alloy pewter made from? It's lead and tin. Half a point for lead, half a point for tin. Number 8, what is the only muscle not attached to both ends? That's the tongue. The tongue. Number 9, which lays blue eggs? It is the song thrush. Number 10, the name of which flatfish also means to stumble clumsily? That is flounder. A flounder, of course. Ariel's mate in Little Mermaid. Okay, so on to music intros round now. Remember, you get half a point for the song name, half a point for the artist. So, number 1 is Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. Half a point for Magic Carpet Ride, half a point for Steppenwolf. Number 2, Mellow Yellow by Donovan. Quite right there. Number 3, No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age. I will accept QOTSA, quotesa. Number 4, Cheek to Cheek by Fred Astaire. Number 5, The Importance of Being Idle by Oasis. Great video. Reese Ifans is in it. Number 6, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor by Arctic Monkeys. Number 7, Dust in the Wind by Kansas. Dust in the Wind by Kansas. Number 8, The Love Cats by The Cure. Number 9, Figure It Out by Royal Blood. And lastly, number 10, Born Slippy by Underworld. Any ravers out there will know that one off my heart. On to general knowledge, number 1, what does a funambulist walk on? It's a tightrope. Number 2, which animal is the national symbol of South Africa? That is a springbok. Springbok is a type of antelope deer thing, I think. Oh, I've done it again. How have I managed to do that? 20%. I don't want 20% opacity. Number 3, what credit card was known as your flexible friend? It's Access. The dark green and white with the orangey red blocky A in the middle. 4, Cape Horn is the southernmost tip of South America. That is part of Chile. Or Chile. Voodoo Chile. Number 5, in what year did Ernie draw the first premium bond numbers in Britain? 1957. 1957. If you got 3 years either side, you're wrong and you get nothing. Number 6, what daily newspaper was first published in 1855? The Daily Telegraph. Number 7, which company's logo is officially known as the swoosh? As Nike, or Nike, as it's pronounced correctly. Everyone's called it Nike, but technically it's Nike, as it's is it Greek god of something? Number 8, trainers, Greek god of trainers. Number 8, who was the youngest member of the Beatles? That was George Harrison, the lovely wife beater. Number 9, in the phonetic alphabet, which 2 cities are used for letters? There's Lima for half a point and Quebec for the other half. India's not one, it's Indigo is I. Studio audience, pipe down. And lastly, number 10, who resigned as chairman of those horrible bastards in 1983 after a scandal came to light? It was Cecil Parkinson. There we go. So, add up your scores, taking into consideration the Joker cards you've played, of course, throughout the quiz. And yes, let's see some scores, some final scores. Obviously, you all should have played your Joker by now, so you don't have to say that you've played a Joker. So while you're doing that, I'll go and get another drink if you're in more than one team, and I'll just put it on for 5 minutes. scores coming in. Let's see what we've got here. Let's have a look. Okay. Does you does or does you don't take access? That rings a bell. That was the advert, wasn't it? Right, Den, you've got 54, including the Joker, of course. Well done, Llamas. Nick and Coral on the boat, 49.5. Not bad at all. No, Rachel, we got 59. Well done, Rachel and the team. Did I see you at the Stanley last night? You're chatting to Murray, I think, for a bit. Maybe it wasn't you. Somebody looked a bit like you. I'm not sure. Richard McGeady, great quiz. Thank you very much, Richard. And you got 53 points. Very well done to Gone with the Wind. 50 for Zoe and team. You're welcome. 37 for Deborah. Not so good this week, but maybe next week will be better for you. SB 44, best we've ever done. Well, there's still room for improvement. Lots of room for improvement. Do the research. I was a bit late with putting up what the guest round was this week, so I do apologise for that. 52 for Bob Hum. You're most welcome. I'm glad everyone enjoyed themselves. As I said in previous weeks, this quiz will be going on indefinitely. I don't see any reason to get rid of it anytime soon, especially for those who can't make it into Norwich at all, or don't like going to the pub, or don't want to go to the pub due to social distancing. That's absolutely fair enough. And this is why I'm going to carry on doing this for quite some time yet. Do remember, if you haven't bought your raffle tickets, I know I keep going on, the quicker they're sold, the quicker we can win that wine for you. I just put the link up in the comments bit there. Share it around to your mates as well. Put it in an email for your family newsletter or whatever you do. Whack it in your work emails. Once those tickets are sold, we can then draw the prize. And I want someone to take home that wine, especially someone who's been watching every week as well. So do that. So once again, guys, thank you very much. If you are interested and you are going to pubs and stuff, and you're not isolating or anything, you can come down to the Reindeer on Sunday nights. I recommend booking. There is a number on the Facebook and Instagram page on the orange flyer. Do recommend booking and getting down for around 7 o'clock to be properly seated and gathered by 7:30 for an 8 o'clock start. So thank you very much once again, guys. You've been absolutely amazing tonight as usual, and I will be putting up the suggestions for next week's guest round, so do check out Facebook shortly, and I'll